Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Hey, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3,488. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. Click, clack. Drink it, drunk. All right, here we go. 2 Florida men go on a Taco Tuesday run, but have engine failure and crash their plane into a swamp. Meanwhile, a Florida couple decide a crawling tunnel on a child's playground is a perfectly good place to romp. On to Mexico, where a woman beats crocodile that had a hold of her twin sister's leg. Woman lays on a high-speed railroad track while on her phone, cheered on by her dumb boyfriend, Greg. And a man makes a final child support payment by dumping a load of pennies in a woman's yard. Gee, thanks, Dad. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, with COVID restrictions easing around the country, restaurants and bars are seeing more business, travel is increasing, and more importantly, the return of the one-night stand. That's right, singles with amorous intent, they can go back in search of random booty. Now, that said, in a new survey, 61% of single men said the one-night stands will become a thing of the past. The good news is that only 45% of women agree with them. But whatever the case, expect to start reading about people getting busted in the act a lot more and more. There's a couple in South Carolina. They were arrested for having sex in a glass gondola, and they admit that they love having sex in public. I guess they do. In Florida, a couple was busted having sex on a children's playground. Now, in this case, it wasn't so much about the joy of public sex. It was the effects of mixing Four Loko with vodka. Who knew? And if you're going to get caught having sex in public, it's a lot less embarrassing if you're actually with someone. A 38-year-old woman was arrested when she was caught masturbating next to a dumpster behind a Popeyes. And 2 months before that, that same woman was arrested for doing the same thing in front of a 7-Eleven, which incidentally is 2 blocks away from the Popeyes. But still, she has less to be embarrassed about than the Florida man who was busted masturbating in a stranger's yard with a pickle stuffed in his butt. Different strokes for different folks, as they say. But today, we're talking about sexy time, be it solo or with someone. And look, we don't care if you got caught, but we do want to know is your answer to this question. No details needed. Where is the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place you've made sexy time? including solo.
Be a part of the big show, 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hotels and away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3,488. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Once again, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less. TV bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck to some degree. It is up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one actually sucks the least. How we stacked up on today's Who Sucks Less?
Oh, I think they're all kind of equal. To a degree. It might be a little tougher, but in this case, we went with a theme. It's all parent-child relationships.
Parent-child relationship.
That is correct. All 3 stories,
okay,
it involves a parent,
lovely.
it involves their kid, and
Yeah.
then you determine, who you think sucks the least.
Good times. Good times. And our question today is we ask for no details that are really needed. Where is the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made sexy time, solo included? The pandemic, they say, will change some aspects of our lives even after it fades away, at least in the near term. According to a new poll, one of the things that might be changing is one-night stands. 61% of single men say they expect one-night stands to become a thing of the past after COVID.
It won't.
But
it won't.
Women aren't so sure. Only 47% of single women say they expect one-night stands to die out once the pandemic comes to an end. What will fill the void? It could be sexting. 61% of single people expect sexting will be more popular. 55% of the younger adults say they actually turn to technologies for ways to be sexually intimate during the pandemic, and that includes video chats,
right.
phone sex, and all that stuff. Even though that might seem a little bit odd to people, it could lead to deeper relationships. 57% of single people say they now place a higher value on non-physical types of intimacy, like emotional or intellectual intimacy.
Doesn't mean you don't want ass. I mean,
that's exactly right.
Most people will put a high value on those things, and also you want to get laid. I think the idea that the one-night stand is going to go away is the equivalent of the person who decides in January that the resolution is they're going to go on a diet and exercise. It's going to last for like 6 weeks, and everyone's going to go back to it. And in the end, look, you're at the bar, and you can say, man, I just don't think one-night stands are going to happen. Then some hot chick hits on you and wants to go back to her place. You're going to go.
Yeah. And if you're out looking for a one-night stand, chances are you're probably not going to find it. Now, yeah, of course, you could go on dating sites and everything else, and maybe you get lucky that one night. Maybe you never go out again. That's a one-night stand. But typically one-night stands seem to be somewhat situational based on both parties, where they are in their lives, where they are location-wise,
how much alcohol they've consumed.
All the above things. I mean, look, it's very rare that people have a one-night stand when they're working together. And the reason is because typically that becomes an affair. Typically that becomes something that's a little bit more ongoing. Yeah, they're there every day, man. You know, I mean, that doesn't really, that's not the recipe for a one-night stand.
You'd rather bump into them, say, at a comedy club years later.
Sure.
Can't remember why you seem so familiar, and like, oh, that's right.
Yeah, maybe you ran into a bachelorette party at a casino. Now there's a chance for a one-night stand. But depending on whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? A one-night stand isn't the most common thing in the world. But then we go down to Florida. This is nothing about a one-night stand. This is a couple who just loves each other a whole lot. Responding to a 9 a.m. tip about a couple trysting in a Florida park, a patrolman discovered a man performing a sex act on his girlfriend within the Children's Crawling Tunnel at Pocahontas Park, lovely Vero Beach. When the cop arrived at the park Friday morning, he reported observing Sharon Finley, who was 52, laying on her back face up with her jean shorts pulled around her ankles. Who would have thought jean shorts in Florida?
Of course, there's no other kind of short.
So she was naked with her legs spread apart, and her happy place was exposed. Her companion is Jermaine Jackson. He was 44, and he was atop Finley with his face somewhere in that area.
Okay, here's my argument for this. We understand that he was probably canyon yodeling, but when they say her vagina was exposed, you have to ask, was it? Because I would think his head is blocking the view.
As what they were doing, the woman told the cops the couple was just making out. Jackson was a little bit more direct. He said, I was doing that thing. Adjacent to the playground's crawling tunnel was a bottle of Gulf Crest vodka and 2 cans of Four Loko. Finley reportedly explained that we were both drinking Four Loko and the vodka. You only live once. Finley and Johnson were each arrested for possession of an open container, booked into the county jail where they remain behind bars today in lieu of $500 bond. The pair escaped additional charges related to their crawling tunnel annex since there were no further complaints. Anyone else saw the above-mentioned incident. They are scheduled to be arraigned on July 6th on a misdemeanor charge.
I mean, I like their directness.
Yeah.
The guy explained exactly what he was doing, which I'm sure the cop appreciated. And then, she even chimed in and said, look, we got drunk. This is what we did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's go down to where your relatives live there in Houston, Texas.
Oh, boy.
Houston mom said she was disturbed by what she saw outside of her home around 8:30 this Sunday in the evening. I looked out the window and noticed the man had pulled his pants down and was clearly having sex with someone. The woman says that she has 2 small children at home, a 2-year-old and an 11-month-old. I was scared and worried, and as a mom, it just was sort of anybody who would be sitting in their home and looking out the window. You'd think you'd be disturbed by that. The mom then shared surveillance video from the night. The television station that got that video blurred the footage because it was pretty graphic. She said a man was outside of a vehicle having sex with a woman who was inside the vehicle. She said she was concerned about the well-being of the woman, so she called 911. In the video, you can actually see police responding to the incident. They spoke to the people for about 4 minutes. The people never moved. I think he might have pulled his pants up, and that was it. And then the cops drove away. And then they continued to have sex. Houston police said they responded to a call following an allegation of sexual assault. Initial reports are the officers learned that it was consensual, and no charges were filed. She said it was at the discretion...
Wait. So... I understand if it's a sexual assault, sure. But even if it's consensual, as far as I understand it, it's still illegal to have sex directly in front of someone's house outside in public.
She said it was the discretion of the officer who, instead of writing a citation, decided to give them a warning. So she called the police again. But the 2 people left before the officer returned. A Houston spokesperson, police officer Wise, said officers know the names of the people involved. He said it appears to be a husband and wife team, and it appears that the woman was heavily intoxicated. Our question, no details needed. Where is the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made sexy time, solo included? 206-421-ROCK.
I like this guy. It says, I have punched a clown literally every day at every job I've ever had. I'm curious to know what you do for a living, man. Someone else says, my boyfriend and I, we were caught having sex by his parents while using their bed. Needless to say, we both got kicked out of their house. Makes sense. Hello, Rick. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How's it going, guys?
Doing great, Rick. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Hey, guys, so when I was 16, I was dating a junior in high school. I was a freshman. Her dad just happened to be the sheriff of Ellensburg at that time, and him and his wife took a trip to Vegas, and while they were gone, her and I did in the front and the back seat of the cop car.
Oh,
okay.
How was that?
Very uncomfortable, but it got the job done.
All right. Now, whose idea was that? Was that your idea or was that her idea?
Oh, no, that was totally my idea.
Okay.
Was she reluctant or was she like, hell, let's do it?
That's just her everyday life.
Right.
That car's been in front of her house. It's all what her dad does.
Yeah, no, she was all about it. Her parents did not like me at all. They knew who I was because I wasn't the greatest of children.
All you need to know is this. If you date anyone's daughter, the father certainly does not like you. I mean, it's just built in. Even if he likes you, he doesn't like you.
I haven't really had that yet. Yet. I'm sure.
And it's just this, man. There's nothing inherently wrong with the guy. Your kid might date the greatest guy you could possibly be with, but the problem is guys know how guys are. I'm sure women know how women are too, but we don't, so I can't speak to it. But as a guy, it's like, look, you can tell me, Mr. Hill, I love your daughter, so I believe you. I think that she is brilliant. She has a wonderful sense of humor. I believe you. She's even matured so much that she flushes the toilet. Be like, bro, I believe you. But here's what I know. You're also just having sex with her. So that's my beef. That's my beef with you.
Right.
I'm sure you treat her well.
I understand that. I try not to think about it.
I know you try not to think about it. Of course you try not to think about it, but have you ever been in a relationship where you didn't think about it?
No, and you know at that age as well. Like, I knew for a fact, I never had any problems with anybody I dated parents. Their parents, you know what, man? As a matter of fact, one relationship that I was in high school, I actually missed her parents and her brothers and hanging out at their family functions more than at some point in time that I missed being in that relationship.
Well, sure.
You know, it wasn't the right relationship at the time, but I loved hanging out with the brothers. And even after, we broke up, I mean, it wasn't a big deal for me to, I knew where her brother was. This was before cell phones. I knew what bar to go to.
Sure.
So I would just go there, and we would just hang out all night. Then she inevitably would come in later on to meet up with him with half the time whoever she was with now.
Right.
So I'd be sitting there, and she'd walk in like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm hanging with your brother.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, this is like, it's right. The bar's right by my house. Why the hell not? No details needed. Where's the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made sexy time? Solo included. 206-421-ROCK.
Another comment comes in. When the B-2 bomber was being built here, I had sex with an inspector inside a wing. Damn good times.
All right.
Huh.
Inside of a wing. God, that's a big plane.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Hello, Rebecca. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Okay, so I have a lot of them, but I am going to go with behind my childhood church.
Damn.
Okay.
How old were you at the time?
Oh, heavens. I want to say 24?
All right, that's about right.
Did you still go to church at that time?
No, I left when I was 14.
Okay, all right.
What are some of the other places?
On top of the slide at the playground across the street.
Did you ever fear that you're going to slide down the actual slide?
No, that we were waiting until we were done before we decided to go down the slide and play on the playground.
Okay. I was going to say, what is up with children's parks? You know what I mean? Like,
because at night, there's nobody there.
We did it in the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese.
Exactly.
That's all it is, right? At night, the only other people you're going to find at the playground at night are other people having sex.
That's true.
True.
And
people doing drugs.
The soccer field, he ended up putting my undergarments on top of the goalpost as, just...
That's a good idea. That way don't get soiled.
We left him there for the hell of it.
Are you still this adventurous in your adult years?
I sure am.
You do. Okay.
Right.
And wait, okay, how about let's translate this? And I understand having sex behind a church because you don't have anywhere to go. Or if you do it on top of a slide because, you know what I mean, you're living at home with your parents or whatever the deal is. What about now as an adult? What type of thrills are you into as far as the idea of it?
Well, I did oral in a movie theater.
What was the movie?
Oh, heavens, I don't remember.
I bet you don't. Right. I bet you the dude doesn't either. No idea.
Now, do you date multiple people, or do you have a steady person you go out with?
I'm married.
Oh, you are married. And so how does that work out? I mean, did you find the person who was who could fit with your, exciting sexual lifestyle?
Yes, we have an open marriage. So pretty much wherever and whoever is willing. So as long as you have permission, it's not cheating.
How is that now? Now, what are the parameters that you guys have established since you opened up that? Do you let's just say if I'm your husband and I call you tonight and I say, hey, look, man, you're not going to believe what I think I just pulled off here at the bar.
Right.
I'm not going to be home maybe until tomorrow morning. Are you cool with that?
I prefer for them to come home.
Is that because you would like to be included?
Oh, come home afterwards. Okay.
Oh.
So if he just says, look, I'll be a little bit late,
right,
but I'm home tonight, you're cool.
Yeah, I'd rather than not spend the night, but other than that, I got no problem.
Okay, now on the same token, because there's a little bit more of an emotional connection maybe if I spend the night. What if I said, look, I'm going to take her out to the Met. We're going to get a steak and eat dinner. Then we're probably going to go over to her place. I'll be home later.
No, then you've crossed the line into an affair.
I crossed the line because of the steak.
No, because unless I'm friends with her too, then that's okay.
So your rule
but if
is
it's someone I don't know.
Okay. Gotcha. So that means that more than likely, more of your friends would be inclined to be included in this more so than his. Unless he has a bevy of friends that are women, you know what I mean? You don't.
Yeah, because he does not want them joining.
Right, exactly. Like he goes out with the guys.
Having any friends that he wants.
Sure. Okay. What I'm saying is, typically, it just seems like if you're going to go out with the guys, you go out with the guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not. But obviously, so does he date someone that you know?
Not currently. He currently doesn't have another person at the moment.
And how about you?
I have two.
You have two.
Now does that suck to him? I mean, is he like, damn it, man? Like you got two, I got nothing going on.
Yeah, he is a little annoyed by that at the moment, but we've invited him to have some fun with us. So we're.
You mean in a devil's way?
I don't even know what that means.
A devil's three-way is two guys and one woman.
Oh, well, we've done that, and we've done with more than just three people.
Okay, let me ask you this.
What's the most people you've had involved in any tryst?
20.
Good Lord,
okay,
man.
That's a lot. What is it about these two guys that you date that is appealing to you that is not something that you can get at home?
Well, my spouse is actually transgender.
Okay.
And I love the very Viking type of person.
So you're like a big bearded dude who's hairy.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Oh, Ted's out of town this week. He's going to be crushed.
The energy has to match. If I don't feel that energy connection, then it's just not going to happen.
Okay. The Viking connection. Now, are these other two people, are they involved in relationships as well, or do they just see you?
No, they're married.
Oh, they are married. Okay. And do their significant others know that you're involved with that?
Yeah, they also are in open marriages.
Okay. This does not sound like any neighborhood I've ever lived in. I sure would like to rent an apartment for a month or two there, though, just to see what's going on.
Yeah, we live in different towns.
Okay.
But we see each other every now and again.
That's
sounds like the Villages.
And do you stay at their house, or do you go and get a hotel room? Do you need to be one-on-one, or is it fine to be in a communal environment?
It's fun to be in communal, one-on-one. Sometimes it really does depend on the day, I guess.
Okay, so like if you drive over to his house and his wife's there, she's like, "Oh, I knew you were coming. I made lasagna." You eat dinner and hang out and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's very interesting.
It is. That's good for her, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's cool. No details needed. Where's the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made sexy time? Solo included. 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW. Yeah! You're in the men's room.
Beers and shots. We will see you Saturday from 1 until 4 down at Elysian Tap Room. First 150 people show up. They get a shot. They get a beer. What kind of shots? You might ask. One of 3 shots. That would be the Johnson & Johnson vaccine shot.
That's the one pop deal,
That's the one-shot deal. Also available is the Pfizer shot, which is a 2-shot deal, and the Moderna shot. So the first 150 people who show up, if you haven't been vaccinated yet, you want to, you don't have an appointment, you just show up, stand in line, we'll take care of you, then we'll hand you a beer. Maybe a Men's Room Original Red or a can to take home, whichever you prefer. You can drink in the tap room or whatever, but very cool. KISW.com has all the details. If you've been thinking about it and you don't have anything on paper yet, join us. Get a beer, get a shot. Beers and shots in Elysian Tap Room. All of the info is at KISW.com. On our question, no details needed. Where's the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made the sexy time? Solo included. 206-421-ROCK.
I like this guy. Says, I had sex at a Sleep Number store on the floor room bed with a girl that worked there during open hours.
Yeah.
That is getting it done.
Man. Talk about testing out beds.
Say that is the best way to test a mattress, right?
Yeah.
You can fall asleep anyway. I mean, I've slept on the floor. I've slept outside. I mean, I want a comfortable mattress. But when it comes to sex, like, ooh, this has good springs.
That's what I was going to say. When you lay down in that bed, even when you're just doing a regular, do you think to yourself when you're buying a mattress,
Yes.
this would be good with sex?
Yes. Absolutely, man.
So are you going for a firmer mattress, or are you going to go for one that's a little bit more fluffy?
It's hard to get a mattress these days, it seems, that doesn't have that pillow top.
Right.
So I accept that part, but I do want a certain amount of firmness.
Okay,
I
that's
want
what
a
I'm
little snapback. It's like biting into a hot dog, man.
Yeah.
I want that little bit of snap.
I used to have a big waterbed back in the day when they were popular.
Was that good to have sex in? I can't believe it. Yeah, it's
no.
Because your motion had to get thrown off,
if
right?
the water is involved, just know for a fact that it's not going to be all that it's cut out to be. Whether that's having sex in the shower, you can fool around and stuff, but get the hell out of there where you can get some stuff going on. You know what I mean? Hot tub sex sounds good, not really that good. We all know for a fact that ocean sex is terrible because of all the sand, as your buddy would say.
There's sand in the booty.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that.
So it's not that it doesn't sound good in principle, it's just that it's not.
The motion of the ocean's a myth.
Well, it depends on what you like.
Well, I mean, think about it. But you're still going to thrust your hips at some point, right? But you thrust your hips, it's going to move with the waves. But I got to think when it bounces back, if it's not exactly in sync with you,
right?
It's going to throws off the rhythm.
Sure, exactly. And like anything else, I'm sure they have newer waterbeds now that have baffles and just feel like you're on a regular mattress. No problem. That was not the waterbed that I had. I had one of the old school ones.
But to me, like, why would I get a waterbed if it just feels like a regular bed? If it's a waterbed, I'd at least want it to feel,
Do you have that
like a
set of
waterbed.
sheets where the corner always comes off of one of the corners on your bed, the
Yes,
fitted
I do.
sheet? Think about that on 4 different corners every day. That is what living with a waterbed is like. I mean, every day you wake up and go, how in the hell did that come out? It's just... Anyway, no details needed. Where's the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made the sexy time, solo included?
Hello, John. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
So, glass elevator, Embassy Suites, above the courtyard where everyone could see.
What city were you in?
Lake Tahoe, California.
Oh, lovely. Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe. How many floors were in the tower?
It's a short one. It's only about a 5-story one, and we were on the 4th floor overlooking the courtyard because they were having a huge Halloween party there that they did every year. And that's where I met this girl, and she said, let's go up in the elevator and take a look down at the crowd. And so we did, and when we got up there, she showed me she had other intentions.
Now, did anyone else press the button while you're in there?
Yeah, that's my one question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a packed house. That's the elevator. I mean, how do you pull that off?
No, we just pulled the emergency stop.
Oh.
And so when you pull the emergency stop, I'm guessing that does not alert anyone to go check on the elevator?
Well, it rang a bell, but it was so loud in the place. They had both ballrooms going with a band in each ballroom. The courtyard was packed with people. This was like the biggest party of the year up there back then. So it was not noticed.
It was not noticed. I was going to say, are you pretty sure that everyone saw you?
A friend of mine was standing down below. I looked down. He pointed up, and the whole crowd looked up.
All right.
Were you in mid thrust, or had you guys finished your business?
We were just about to finish, and when we pushed the button back in on the elevator, came down to the bottom floor, and we came out, we got applause from the whole lobby.
Now, what happens after that? Is that the end of the tryst? Like, are you guys like, see you tomorrow? Or, I mean, you just met this girl at a party. Mm-hmm. What happens now?
We actually saw each other a couple more times.
Yeah, I'm getting that number.
Strictly for that.
Yeah, of course. When you have sex with a stranger in a glass elevator, I get the feeling the next time you call me, we're going to be having sex again. What was she dressed up like, by the way?
She was dressed as a little pirate wench.
And you were?
And I was dressed as the Grim Reaper.
Now, what kind of Halloween costume might prevent you? Like, if they're like in the Catholic schoolgirl, like, I know you're an adult, I just can't move past that. That's just not working for you. If you're dressed as a nun, I'm going to rail you. No doubt about it.
Yeah,
Or if you're dressed like Tinkerbell, right? You know what I mean? And it could be the hottest chick in the world. But
you're not going to be able to do it in the elevator. You know what I mean?
Not even that. Like, you're dressed like Tinkerbell. Like, I want to have sex with you, but you at least got to pull off the wings, right?
I don't have that problem. I really don't.
Okay.
Good for you.
Now, what about your sex life now?
Quite wonderful with my wife of 25 years.
Does that happen to be your wife of 25 years?
No, it did not.
So this predates that, I see.
This was just before that.
And does your wife know about this wonderful time you had? Like, hey, let's go to Tahoe.
No, that would be one I don't tell her about.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fair. I get
enough.
that. Yeah. Those are the ones you leave out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I used to date this girl. Not a problem. Had sex with this girl in the broom closet of an open bar. That one, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You don't need to know. Although it was awkward. I was dating my now wife. And again, we're at a comedy club. I'm there with Miles and Ted. My wife's there. And there's the club proper, and then through a doorway, there is a bar. Mm-hmm. And Miles is there harassing a guy we call Mr. Green. Well, I'm not sure was happy to see you when you showed up.
Probably not.
But there's this chick there that's going to go on stage and tell some jokes. What was it, Frosty or something like that? I can't remember. But anyway, everyone's kind of chatting, and we all had a decent time, and different people.
She was nice.
She was very nice. But we kept looking at each other, and we spent, hours just going, man, we know we've met each other. So you start rattling off people that you know, places that you work, bars you go to, and that started becoming the key. Well, I haven't been to that bar. How about this bar? Oh, I've been to that bar. And then in this moment, it's, oh, yes, we remember each other now.
Now listen, I think if you listen to the Greatest Story Never Told podcast,
Episode 27.
You remember for a fact that Steve cannot remember anything about anybody we've interviewed. I contend that this woman knew exactly how she knew you. The difference being that she played along as you were trying to figure it out. It's because she didn't want to seem like, hey, we had sex.
Well, why not just say that? I mean, it's like, where do I know? I kept saying,
there were a bunch of people around.
It doesn't matter.
It maybe mattered to her. I know she remembered.
I hope she did. And I feel bad because, I don't remember having sex with you. I mean, I kind of do now, and I kind of did when it clicked, but it was hours. Like, man, where do I know you from? And like I said, this epiphany hit me like, oh, yeah. And I remember my real cool response. How you been?
No details needed. Where's the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made the sexy time, solo included? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Richmond. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
All right, the year was 1991. I was in the Navy, and our ship had left San Diego and went to Oregon for the Rose Festival. And we were given tours to, civilians. They would come up on the ship. And I worked on the bridge of the ship as navigational specialist. And me and this girl kept making eye contact. And so I was talking to her. We hit it off. And I said, hey, later, I had duty tonight. Later, if you want to come back on board the ship, I'll take you around, show you some places that weren't on the actual tour.
Like the inside of my pants.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. No, so we got back up to the bridge where I worked, and so I locked down the bridge door from the inside, and we had sex in the captain's chair on the bridge of my ship.
Now, what would have been the trouble you got into if the captain found out that you're slamming butt in his chair?
Oh, that would have probably been a definite captain's mass, which is like, I guess, to compare it to an Army term, it would be like an Article 15.
So Captain Crunch doesn't have the same rules?
No, everybody can join on.
Now, and this happened in Portland. Man, Portland, geez, Liz. Portland's right there with Vegas for some reason a lot of the times.
Portland,
as far as the craziness goes.
Definitely a different animal.
Now, how often did that happen in your service life? Was that just a one-off?
That was probably because I joined the Navy in 91, fresh out of high school. And we went to Portland twice during my time in the Navy, and that was probably the wildest adventure I had while on the ship.
Okay. And did you go overseas?
Oh, yes. I was in when I graduated high school, I joined the Navy, got out of basic, and then went straight from high school to Florida for basic training and my A school, and then went straight from A school to the Persian Gulf during Desert Storm.
Oh, damn. What was crazier, the Persian Gulf or Florida?
I have to say Florida by far.
Yeah, no
it was
doubt.
just hot and humid in the Persian Gulf.
Okay. Were you in Pensacola?
No, Orlando area.
Okay. All right. That's better than from what we understand.
At the time when I joined, we were like one of the last few companies that actually went through Florida for basic training for the Navy. Then they started sending everybody to Great Lakes.
Okay. I was curious about that. Everything you hear about Pensacola and people who are in the military, they're like, I hate that place.
It's never good. I've never heard a good thing.
Place. You know?
Yeah. Even people that live in Pensacola seem to hate Pensacola. Oh, by the way, you were talking about mattresses for sex. Someone chimed in and said Purple mattresses, right, which are advertising pretty heavy right now.
Okay.
So not the color, but the name of the company is Purple Mattress. Great sex mattress. I've never gotten that pinch and pain you get from other beds in my knees and elbows.
Nice.
That,
put it. Hey, write a review for him.
Why do they not put that in mattress ads?
In the commercial.
I mean, because look, there's already, if there's a ED, right? The only reason you care about ED is for sex. Trojan condoms. The only reason you need a condom is for sex. All the contraception for women now. The only reason you need this is for sex. So to me, you could do two different, like, look, Geico has two different kind of ad campaigns. Either you see the gecko or it's an entirely different commercial. So Purple Mattress, take the time to brag about, yeah, it's a great thing to sleep. But then your other ones like, hey.
Do testimonials.
Yeah, like, this is a fantastic sex
I'm
mattress.
Bonnie from Kennewick, Washington. Whenever I make sweet, sweet love to my woman, my knees and my elbows hurt like hell. Then I got a Purple mattress.
I'm 63 years old and the pain just went away.
It did.
It's like good feet, but it's good mattress.
And the loving don't hurt no more.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to know.
Be like, hey, wonder what they got in those springs. No details needed. Where's the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made the sexy time solo included? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Rusty. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
Well, shout out to my He-Man woman hater group. I got a top three real quick. I got the Space Needle, the 50-yard line at Spark Stadium in the rain, and then driving the Cadillac down the highway.
Where's Spark Stadium at, Rusty?
T-Town, Charlton.
Okay, is that a high school field?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've done it on the 50-yard line of a football field.
Why is it always the 50-yard line? I mean, did you even consider?
Because there's an emblem there.
All right. I was just curious, like, because everyone always says the 50-yard line. I'm like, I would not care if I'm in the end zone, the 17-yard line. Like, no, baby, let's move to the 50.
Where I went to school, the state was the center field logo. It was the state of West Virginia. So we had sex on top of the town we lived in.
Did you end up with, like, the blue paint on your ass or anything?
No.
See, that's what I would be thinking.
This was OmniTurf. And OmniTurf was terrible because before they started putting those cancerous black pellets on AstroTurf, give people skin cancer, right, when they skin their knees up on it, back then they just put sand down. Mm-hmm. So the actual strands of the AstroTurf, you just think it looks like grass, but there was at least 5 to 6 inches of sand within those plastic strands.
Yeah.
And the reason being is drainage, obviously.
Sure.
But the sand was sand. I mean, no matter what. I mean, you hit the deck, you lose a layer of skin. I mean, that's why everybody wore pads, elbow pads, knee pads.
And what about when you're having sex? Let me get my pads.
That's what I'm saying. It was still like being on the beach.
Right, exactly.
And that's not ideal. Then again, I wouldn't want those cancer black pellets in my privates either. That's all I need.
Have you ever had sex on the beach?
Yes.
Yeah, it was good at first, and then you realize that sand has crept into your stuff, and I'm kind of like, this is starting to hurt, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to move somewhere.
It's like 1,000 cats licking you. That dry-ass, sandy tongue they got. No details needed. Where's the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place you made sexy time solo included? 206-421-ROCK.
Sex on the beach was like a cat's mouth.
You know what I'm talking about. Like having your friend help you out there, but he's got calluses real bad.
Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So we much younger days made a trip with my wife to Pender Island in British Columbia for a little romantic weekend, and we were on the ferry there in British Columbia, and we were stopped at the island before the island that was our destination. And, being a romantic getaway, we just got this idea to go down to the car deck to the van and, get busy. And so, we're getting busy in the van, and this van, it has some tint on the windows, but it's not limousine tint, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Things are getting real interesting. All of a sudden, the ferry horn blares real loud, and the car deck starts flooding with people.
Okay.
So these people, they're going to the cars, and there's some people glancing through the tint and getting a funny look on their face, continuing on, and so forth. So we're like, we didn't know that the other island's ferry dock was only 10 minutes away,
Yeah.
So.
Well, hey, that's not bad. Yeah. Every time I hear that sound, I'm chugging the beer I have. That's all right.
So, got to finish things up and get ready to get off this ferry, and as we're driving, the funny part is we're going to drive off the ferry. So we start to get to the front of the ferry. I see this one ferry worker tap this other guy on the shoulder and point at our van. And I'm thinking, oh, we're in trouble now,
I doubt it.
We're so busted, But as we get up to the front of the dock, they both turn and both guys give me the double thumbs up and a big, oh yeah!
Of course, man.
It's Canada.
Yeah, most just like, hey.
I mean,
the wife, of course, is crawling underneath the dashboard on her side of the car.
I'm like, they already saw your naked ass. You might as well show your face.
Are you still married to her?
Yeah, 38 years.
See, there you go.
Damn.
There you go. 38 years.
Congratulations, man.
Ta-da. That was a long time ago, though, to go back for that story.
By the way, got an update on Purple Mattress. First of all, somebody says Purple does have a commercial about sex, but it's on their website. And someone else says, I was going to say the Purple Mattress. I just got one. My sleep isn't great, but the sex was.
Takes a little time to break in any mattress, though.
Yeah, but
Honest to
man, we're
God,
getting testimonials.
at least a month. No details needed. Where is the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made the sexy time, solo included? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Thor. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. Thor, is that your actual name or nickname?
That is my actual name.
So when the movies came out, how much did you hear about that?
All the time. I don't want to go into that because that gets me triggered on how inaccurate a lot of that stuff is, but I digress.
Okay.
Yeah. So my story goes back to when I was in high school. It was breakfast time. There was a curtain on stage. Me and my girl had our alone time behind the curtain while everyone else was having breakfast.
So what, it was like a gymnasium that was a multi-use facility that also had a theater at one end? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's
Do not look at the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, but I would also never think it would happen during breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe in the afternoon, maybe around noontime. I'm not saying that you don't have morning
sex,
but not when you get to school.
You start, well, sure.
You know what I mean?
I never did it at school.
Before we get into
but-
homeroom, let's knock one out.
But if I could have, I would have.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, if some chick in high school was like, hey, before homeroom, do you want to be like, well, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, quick question. Somebody said if it's always the 50-yard line on a football field, where on the baseball field is it home plate?
It is home plate.
It is?
It is home plate.
Okay.
What are you saying?
It's not the pitcher's mound?
It's like a sex pillow.
It could be, yeah, depending.
See, Mike's thinking.
You could do it on each bag,
Again, you're back on sand.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like, you got to get off that dirt.
Center field, maybe. All the way there, that back corner.
That's why golf courses are great. The grass is soft. It's been cut. You know what I mean?
There's going to be 100 people having sex there, and you don't know.
Until the sprinklers come on.
Go for the back nine.
No details needed. Where's the strangest, riskiest, or most unusual place that you made the sexy time? 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.